The progesterone withdrawal bleeding from Sperrof 9th editions. What is progesterone withdrawal bleeding? We already talked about estrogen, breakthrough, estrogen withdrawal, estrogen withdrawal. Then we will talk about progesterone withdrawal bleeding. The progesterone withdrawal bleeding is observed when progesterone withdrawal will give withdrawal bleeding. Observe when treatment with exogenous progesterone or synthetic, that is progesterone withdrawal bleeding is observed when treatment with exogenous progesterone or synthetic progestin is discontinued. Okay, what happens when the patient has already estrogen primed endometrium? Either you give endogenous estrogen or exogenous estrogen. So when you are giving treatment with exogenous progesterone, synthetic progesterone to discontinue, then there will be a progesterone bleeding in a patient in which the endometrium is already primed with estrogen either by exogenously or by endogenously. The progesterone withdrawal bleeding occur only when the endometrium has first been primed with estrogen by either by endogenously or exogenously. Here the amount and duration of bleeding can vary widely and generally correlate with the level and duration of previous. It will depend on the level and duration of previous estrogen stimulated endometrial proliferations. So here the amount and duration of bleeding can vary widely and it generally correlates with the level and duration, of previous estrogen stimulated proliferation, how much estrogen stimulated proliferation has been occurred. In women with a marginal to frankly low estrogen level or short interval of amenorrhea, those who have a marginally low level of estrogen or short interval amenorrhea, bleeding is generally light to scanty or and may not occur at all. Okay. So in those with sustained high estrogen level or long interval of amenorrhea, bleeding can be heavy, somewhat prolonged, but still is self-limited. Between the extremes, the amount and duration of bleeding induced by progesterone withdrawal are typically the amount and duration of bleeding induced by progesterone withdrawal are typically similar to that observed at the end of normal ovulatory cycle. In women, withdrawals are typically similar to that observed at the end of normal ovulatory cycle. In women receiving cyclic hormone therapy with exogenous estrogen and progesterone, bleeding follow withdrawal of progesterone even if estrogen treatment continue. Here the statement is telling in women receiving cyclic hormone therapy, if you are giving it exogenous estrogen and progesterone, okay, progesterone withdrawal bleeding, estrogen progesterone, bleeding follows withdrawal of progesterone. Even you continue estrogen, the bleeding will occur when you withdraw progesterone. Progesterone bleeding can be delayed, but only if estrogen level are increased by 10 to 24. If you want to delay the estrogen treatment to continue, progesterone bleeding can be delayed. If you want to delay the progesterone bleeding, then you can give estrogen level increase to 10 to 24. If already estrogen level high, period is early. If already estrogen level low, period is late. Remember the progesterone withdrawal bleeding. Progesterone withdrawal bleeding is observed when treatment with exogenous progesterone or synthetic progesterone is discontinued. Here the progesterone withdrawal bleeding occur only when the endometrium has first been primed with estrogen, endogenous or exogenously. Here the amount and duration of bleeding can vary widely depending on generally it correlates with the level and duration of exposure of previously estrogen stimulated endometrial proliferation. In women with marginal to frankly low estrogen level or a short interval amenorrhea, bleeding is generally very light to scanty, may not occur at all. In those who sustained high estrogen level, long interval amenorrhea, bleeding will be heavy and somewhat prolonged, but still self-limited with the extremes. The amount and duration of bleeding induced by progesterone withdrawal are typically similar to that observed in the end of normal ovulatory cycle, that is progesterone bleeding. In women receiving cyclic hormone therapy with exogenous estrogen and progesterone, bleeding follows withdrawal progesterone even if we continue estrogen treatment. So to delay the progesterone bleeding, we should increase the dose of estrogen level.